So hey guys, this is Dr. Sheikh Singla, and in this video I'm gonna discuss about a very important topic from the medicine, nephrology, that is hematuria. So guys, let us start. First of all, this is a how we evaluate for the dark urine. A patient comes to you in your OPD and with the complaint of dark urine. So how will you evaluate that dark urine? So first of all, takes the patient urine and do the dipstick test. First do the dipstick test, and in this is a dipstick test, guys. So this is showing the blood. This greenish type thing will be showing the blood. So this is positive. This is positive dipstick test. So if the dipstick test is positive, then we have to centrifuge that sample. But if there is not means there the test is negative, the dipstick test is negative, then the diagnosis is straight away is the porphyria. Is the diagnosis for that patient if the dipstick test is negative. So one diagnosis is ruled out if the dipstick test is negative, that is porphyria. I will be discussing this topic in the another video. First of all, pay attention now. If the dipstick test is positive, so first of all we will go for centrifugation. We centrifuge the sample in this machine. This is a centrifugation machine. Okay, and now after centrifuge, if there is a two possibilities. There can be if there is a dark sample, or if there is a clear supernatant sample. So these are the two different samples. So guys, this is the clear supernatant and this is the dark sample, guys. This is a dark sample and that one was a clear supernatant. So if the sample is clear supernatant, there will be RBCs in the urine. There is RBCs in the urine. And if there was a dark sample after centrifugation, then we will allow it to stand. If it was dark in appearance, we will allow it to stand for some time. And if it becomes colorless after some time, then the diagnosis is straight away, it's a myoglobinuria. But if the sample is still dark after making it stand for some time, if it's still dark, then the diagnosis is directly hemoglobinuria. So guys, these are different things, myoglobinuria and hemoglobinuria. Hemoglobinuria is hemoglobin in the urine, but myoglobinuria is because of the muscle damage. And it will so myoglobin is coming in the urine and after the muscle damage. I will be discussing these topics differently in the different video. For now, you have to remember how do we evaluate different type of urine and different type of diagnosis from the urine. So this was the, if there is a after centrifugation the urine is dark color and we will allow it to stand and it's a still dark, then hemoglobinuria. If it becomes colorless, then it will be myoglobinuria. Now coming to the RBCs in the urine. If it will be clear supernatant solution, then there will be RBCs in the urine. So for this, the diagnosis will be hematuria. This is the hematuria. And what is the definition of the hematuria? It's very important, guys. So kindly pay attention. More than 3 RBCs on the HPF. HPF means high power field. High power field means on microscopy it's a high power field. So if there is more than 3 RBCs on the high power field on more than 3 occasions, this is the first definition. And the next definition is, if more than 100 RBCs in the high power field on more than or equal to 1 occasion, then it will be hematuria. This is very important definition, guys. Now for hematuria, there can be two causes: renal cause or any systemic cause. Systemic cause means the patient is on the anticoagulant drugs. If the patient is having any antiplatelet disorders like ITP and the TTP, so I will be covering these two diseases in the another video. I will be discussing it. So, and the third condition is bleeding disorder. Any bleeding disorder like thalassemia, like thalassemia. So these are the systemic conditions which can be have hematuria. Now coming to the next condition, that is renal condition. There can be any renal condition. For the renal, there can be two possibilities. So one is glomerulonephritis. The patient can have glomerulonephritis, or the patient can have any kidney stone, or the urinary bladder stone, or the patient can have cancer. Means the patient can have renal cell carcinoma or any urinary bladder carcinoma. Okay guys, so for these, how we can differentiate between these conditions. So in the glomerulonephritis patient, if the patient has a glomerulonephritis, there will be dysmorphic RBCs. There will be dysmorphic RBCs. You can see here guys, this is a type of, these are the dysmorphic RBCs. These are the very the normal shape of the RBCs are known as, you know that it is a biconcave like appearance. So in the isomorphic, in the stones and cancer, there is a isomorphic RBCs. So these are the normal shape of the RBCs. Okay guys, and this is the abnormal dysmorphic RBCs. So these are the main difference between glomerulonephritis and the, if the patient has any stone or the cancers. Now coming to the next, in the glomerulonephritis there will be RBCs cast present, but if the patient has stones or the patient have cancer, there will be no RBC cast in the urine. So these are the RBC cast in the urine. You can see this is the image. So for this patient, if the patient is glomerulonephritis, the patient will be sent to the medicine department and they will be treating this patient. And if the patient have stones or the cancer, and this patient will be sent to the surgery department, they will be treating this patient. So guys, this is the end of the evaluation of the dark urine, and I have shown you all the clinical aspects, how we go from hematuria to the different diagnosis and how we rule out different options uh, in a very simplified manner. So this was the video guys. Thank you. Do like and share my video and subscribe to my channel. This is Dr. Shivek Singla signing off. Bye bye.